Good morning. I hope you're doing awesome. I know it's July, and I know that you're probably really warm where you are. However, yes, I'm wearing a sweatshirt, and it's nice and foggy here, and maybe you can see the fog in the trees there. But as you know, I live in Washington now, so this is kind of a norm, and it typically burns off. The fog kind of burns off. I think it was yesterday about noon. I was surfing and, ooh, look at this. I was surfing and the fog burnt off a little bit around noon. So we'll see what happens for today, but I think most people are coming out here to cool off. I titled this video, How to Stay Youthful, because I was thinking about this yesterday when I was in the water. And surfing is so much for me, and it really started. So I got something on my nose. I apologize. Surfing is so much for me because when I was in my early 20s, it gave me a reason to not be a drunk, because I was kind of going down a really bad slippery slope. And in the Navy, it was really easy to get consumed in the party life and the drunken sailor mentality. And surfing gave me a reason to get up the next morning and to not want to be hungover the next morning. Whereas I didn't really have any other reason. I didn't have any enthusiasm. And that's the fountain of youth for me, is enthusiasm, and to have something that you look forward to doing. Playfulness, being a beginner at something. And surfing and being in the ocean is always the most humbling thing. You're always grateful to be alive after you get under the water and you just have a challenge, because you're like a fish out of water, under the water as a human. But I met a guy in 2020, and I'll never forget his comment. He said, let's walk up here. We'll get a better view up here. I met a guy in 2020. Gosh, it's so beautiful. And I'll show you the land layout here. I never get to come down here because it's never the right tide. So I'm so glad that the tide was low enough this morning for me to come over here and explore a little bit. And this is part of how to stay youthful, is being a kid and exploring and being curious. But this guy had told me, he said, he's a really great surfer. And he said, gosh, we watched all those beginner surfers having a really good time and was just kind of envious of their enthusiasm for surfing, even though the waves were horrible and the conditions were bad. But they're trying to learn how to surf, and they're just having a really good time. And and that's what I thought about this yesterday when I was out in the water, because I'm like, when we have that beginner mentality, a childlike enthusiasm for things, it's extremely beneficial to our health and our longevity. But when we get grown up and we think that we know everything, it's pretty detrimental. It's detrimental to our health. It's detrimental to our well-being. And I think that when we can be childlike and have enthusiasm for things and be a beginner and be curious, we have this youthful, playful mentality. And it really does help our mind, and it can help our body, because we're constantly moving and exploring. Because once we get to the point where we're cynical, sarcastic, and we know it all, or we don't believe in the good in life anymore, because as kids aren't jaded yet. Kids haven't been harmed yet, and they're still curious. So I think that being youthful is, it's really a state of mind. Because I was going to say, I'm older now than I've ever been before, of course, but I'm 42 now, and I still feel like a child, because there's always something to find. There's always something to see. There's always something to do that's new, and I don't know anything. I don't know anything. And if you can say, you know what, I don't know anything, then there's so much to learn. There's so much to explore. There's so much to appreciate when we don't know anything. And I think that we have been programmed to kind of be know-it-alls, because you needed to know things for your job, you needed to know things to take care of your family, you needed to know things to XYZ. But if we can learn to say, I don't know anything and the world is here for me to explore and see and learn from, then that's the fountain of youth. Now, I will have to say, I do believe that moving our body is the fountain of youth. I didn't say exercise. I didn't say like, yes, strength is important. You're going to get strong by moving your body, but not the mentality of going and punishing yourself because you ate a bag of Cheetos. Moving your body, and sometimes with a more playful mentality, a less rigid mentality, and breathing and moving and learning to appreciate our bodies is the fountain of youth. You know, I'm always going to plug in some yoga because I think that yoga can save lives because I see it every day. I see it in front of me every day. So I just wanted to share this lovely spot because most of the time I'm solo. So these videos allow me to share the beauty and check out this flock of birds. I don't know if you can see them or not. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh gosh, isn't that magical? Oh, beautiful. Okay. This is how I stay young. Just be a kid. Appreciate the wonders. Be alone. Be alone with yourself. Get intimate and learn to know who you are. Because when we can understand who we are, then we can best show up and shine your light bright for the world and for others. And that's what the world needs more of. Not that we know everything, because I don't know anything. But thanks for listening. All right, have a wonderful rest of your day, and may you be cool wherever you are.